without further ado, spawning here at the top right, we got our blue Protoss from Alpha X. Give it up for the man of the hour. It is Astrea.
You're in the bottom left-hand corner instead. Just felling another Protoss opponent. Kenny fell too. Shopify Rebellion, it's Byun.
Alright, looks like we have some Astrea love in the live chat. Anyone rooting for Byun? Make sure to type it into the chat. But
I'm sure there's plenty of people rooting for Byun. He's just such a magnetic player.
yeah, I mean, both of these guys are kind of fan favorites.
Absolutely.
So.
Alright, NGB block. Just the one of the most annoying thing in existence. Treya sitting with a probe on his third, just looking for something. He's gonna go back home and see. Oh. Oh. Oh, some very polarized opinions in the chat, actually. Oh, taking the third, Astrea, like, kind of forgot he wasn't playing Zerg, and I'm just gonna put my drones in the third. I wonder when he's gonna find out he's not a Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's going through a identity crisis, you know?
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. I mean, Waterfall is not the biggest of maps. There's not a lot of a lot of distance between the main and natural and the third. So yeah, you can just skip the natural and take the third. It's not the biggest of deals. But then again, like, you do that just because you don't want to make a Zealot first and just sending 4 probes out. It kind of averaged the same losses, I think. But it can be more vulnerable the later the game goes if you go for your third before your natural.
Alright, and no surprise here. Looks like we will once again go for a Twilight cancel on the Protoss part. And
yeah, that looks definitely like it's the best possible opener and just does everything at once.
Yeah, it's one of the, of course, safer builds to open with, so. And, you know, Blink Stalkers, one of the funnest things to micro in the game. I guess why not, right?
Also one of the most difficult things to micro in the game. But don't tell gold players, they do love their stalkers. Alright, going straight into Robo as well, to make sure there's a Warp Prism to support these Stalkers, and maybe add up some observers in the map. One single alien will get past the defenses of Astrea. As I was saying, not having your natural can lead to this unwelcome guess in your lone. And the alien will get a full scout. The Robo is in the third, so Byun will not see that. But everything else pretty much under his safe, controlled eye. And there's a Raven incoming as well. Byun delaying his bio upgrades to get tanks and Raven. And we're gonna see if that is going to pay off for him or not.
Yeah, I don't see a second barracks here. Oh, yeah, it looks like no second barracks, so I don't think this is going to be a all-out push. Although I can definitely see him go for a pressure push of some sort once he has...
Well, we're looking at a supply block right now. Okay, it's not longer a supply block. Again, happens to the best of us. Yeah, it does feel like Byun wants to just keep this game one, just studying his opponent. Waterfall, again, is a very short map. You kind of delay your push a little bit to just be a little bit stronger, since walking the distance is not really difficult. But he needs to be prepared against this first, and that's where the tanks will come in clutch. Oh, the bunker falls down before Byun can even put in the repairs. Energy Bay is gonna be the threat. The Raven will get a couple probes down and fly into the main. Another auto turret maybe is ready to be popped down. Not enough energy, not yet at the very least. And yeah, the Raven is out of harm's way. I will not drop down another auto turret. Meanwhile, Astrea ready to blink again into the main, sorry. Oh. And yeah, he's looking for blood. There's not much in the way of defense. The tanks are way too off. And it does feel like Astrea is trading out with so many Marines. Yeah. Beautiful Blink Stalker play from Astrea. Getting a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, only losing 1 Stalker and 4 probes throughout this whole game, so a great defense to start off this match. And he does have his third base up and running, so as long as he doesn't suffer too much damage, I think he's going to set himself pretty nicely to go to the mid game here. He's adding in more gateway, so it looks like he's going to rely more on the gateway heavy style kind of play style that has been really popular in the meta these days against Terrans. And you know, just the idea is just to go for a lot of gateway units and just expand your opponent and just go crazy with your resources. And then even if you go for an inefficient trade, you have at least some sort of bank to help replace and replenish those lost units.
Gonna see how this is going to work out for the two of them. While Astrea is stacking up, getting his AoE. Of course, in the Ghost Academy is going to be the AoE on the side of Byun. It's just a lot of posturing after that early game aggression. Well, early to mid game aggression we've seen. And it's kind of reminded me a lot of the last game of the previous series we watched. In some way, with the difference being having Storm right now. But it's a very similar approach to the matchup, at the very least. Oh, that's a lot of zealots. Well, one single Marine is gonna get a lot of Scotty information. Team 4 Templars just getting up energy. It's a very big tell of what is about to happen. Oh, Psionic Storm just finished right now. EMP Shockwave upgrade halfway through. What were you saying, my friend?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Warpism is just like really getting close to getting scouted. So Byun, if he did have vision, would have been able to stim and snipe off that Warpism, which would have really sucked for Astrea, especially because it looks like he's kind of attacking at the front, and it could have presented an opportunity for him to warp in the backside in the main base of Byun at the same time he was attacking. Or he could have loaded up those High Templars into Warpism and use it for this attack, which it looks like he did. But oh, those tanks really doing some numbers on those charge line, and now losing that Warpism, losing that storm, all the storms, Astrea is gonna have to retreat.
Yeah, losing 4 prods back home as well to the Raven. Like, this is a little bit of a disaster for Astrea. Like, Storms and Zealots are just very hard to work with. And Byun was just able to kite backwards and deal a very big amount of damage to key units and the rest of the army of Astrea. Yeah, like, I know I was sounding unexcited towards the later stages of this game, but yeah, like, Byun got it. Game number 1 is for him.
Alright, we'll see how this game goes as this guy here, he's down 0-1 and looking to tie up the series. Can he do it? It is Astrea.
Here in the top left-hand corner instead, playing for Shop of a Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. Can he double it up? It's Byun. Alright. This is a Proxy Reaper just in your face. Like, you can be more in the face of Astrea than this.
Yeah, this is a pretty ballsy move, because if you do get scouted, like, that probe can just zap away at your SCVs, and that would be a situation where Byun is going to be so far behind him. Yeah, right now, does he see it? Oh, he does.
Oh, Astrea with the moves. You just know exactly what is up. No NG-Bay block is going to happen. Reaper is gonna start production. Oh, bunker behind.
Oh my god, what a position there.
Yeah, that is a dream position. I don't think it's going up though. Yeah, it will just be cancelled. Astrea knowing exactly the amount of probes you need to make a bunker cancel is extremely suspicious, but he had exactly what he needed there to stop that bunker from ever happening. I wonder when he did practice this. This is such a weird situation to find yourself in.
I know, right? Oh my god, there's another oh wait, never mind. I thought that was a bunker on the mini-map, but it's just the barracks floating.
Yeah, floating around. Yeah, this probe on the other side of the map for Astrea is still keeping full track of what is going on. Like, Astrea has had perfect information for 3 minutes of the game, and that is sometimes enough to know exactly what is going to happen for the next 5, which is something.
Yeah, I mean, that's important to know, because, like, theoretically, Byun could have just added in some additional barracks, gone for a 3 racks push. So you know, if he did scout that, he would have, prepared for a push, a timing push of some sort. But knowing that that's not the case, as just pretty much a 1-1-1, then Astrea, he can just focus on building probes, getting his
blink.
Yeah.
Also, in a matchup, probably one of the matchups in which is the hardest to scout, I do feel like. While in most of the other matchups, you have a way in to get some scouting information. In TVP, it's really easy to deny scouting. So having some amounts of information is always useful. Yes, you can scan as the Terran, but scan are expensive, you don't really want to do that. And as a Protoss, you can send in observers, but you can do that in every matchup. In this one, though, you're gonna find some resistance a little bit more, because usually Terran have easier ways to scan for stealth units. So yeah, it's difficult to get scouting information in this match. More difficult than the other matchups, at least.
Yeah, that's a good point. And scouting information in this matchup is quite important.
Absolutely.
So, you gotta try some way. Of course, the Protoss can maybe, on the Protoss side, he can do hallucinated phoenixes and watchtowers, and also, we'll go for the blink timing, because if you go for the blink timing, you can blink up to the main base and scout what's up. But then on the Terran side, Widowmine drops is a way, Alien drops is a way. Sometimes, scanning, I guess you don't want to waste a scan in the early game, but if you need to, then that's also an option to get some scanning information. And then also maybe, Liberator or Viking early harass. That's also another way. And then, of course, the old school method, Raven harass, is one of the go-to ways to get some scouting information.
And a lot of damage on the way in as well. These auto turrets absolutely decimate through probes. Fairy base is incoming for Astrea. Byun still on his way to get steady production for his army. While Astrea is gonna set up his usual blink stalker timing.
Ooh, nice pick off there. We'll get the tank and maybe the sensor tower if he does snipe it. Nope. Just gonna go ahead and blink away. Decent damage, although that auto turret back at home did get, not back at home, back at the Protoss side did also get 5 probes. So a little bit of an even trade here.
Yeah, blow for blow. The Raven is still alive, still ready to get some more action once it has enough energy, just like we've seen in the previous game. Astrea has control of the low ground over here, but we've seen Byun do this against Zoun as well, where he doesn't really take into too much consideration taking control of the low ground until he has a steady production and he can move forward with a couple tanks and maybe try to get something done with Medivacs on the other side of the map. And that looks like exactly what he's doing right now.
By the way, thank you Angry SC2 for the subscription. Definitely appreciate it here at Alpha X. Yeah, looks like a drop will commence here. Actually, gonna go ahead and think twice. Gonna go ahead and retreat for the time being.
Yeah, there was a pylon for scouting over there, so he destroyed the pylon and decided to back off. Infantry Weapon 1 is about to be finished, as well as combat shields. But yeah, this army cannot move past the Stalkers. They can blink over the Medivacs at any moment's notice, and that's gonna be very deadly for Byun. We see again the big clash of Psionic Storm and Shockwave EMP, with the Ghost Academy being halfway through. Of course, Astrea is gonna be stronger for quite a long time, while Byun is gonna reach his power spike in a minute or two.
I love how Astrea, he's keeping up the activity with these Blink Stalkers and making sure that he's not just sticking them back at home and standing still. He's just actively looking for places where, I mean, you know, you never know if like there's a medevac floating around and your Stalker just gonna you know, walk by it and you can snipe it down. So love how active he is with his Stalkers right now.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go when you go for this kind of play. And it's always interesting to see these being like overall confirmed to be the best approach to the matchup, but pretty much every single Protoss player out there, with very few exceptions, and every single one of them has such a different approach to these Blink Stalkers early to mid-game transition plays. Like we've seen Astrea playing very good. Oh my god, these storms, by the way. Oof. 10 pro. Oh no, the Warp Prism falls down. That is a disaster for Astrea. Like, yes, he got 10 SCVs, but yeah, it's not worth losing the 2 Templars and the Warp Prism. That is kind of a disaster for Astrea, not gonna lie. He has like 4 storms back home, so he's not gonna be too unhappy about this. But yeah, without Shockwave EMP, you see that EMP just not really hit the jackpot on top of these Stalkers. I was about to make some examples of different Protoss players, but I think we got some action here, Snoopy. Oh yeah. No, both the Templars falling down. Yeah, Astrea is crumbling down.
Yeah, this is a scary time, especially just as right when Astrea is transitioning into Robotech. Now he has so little splash. He does have, oh, huge EMP. Does take out the High Templars, forces Astrea to morph them into Archons. And can Astrea hold on here? There's no shield batteries for him.
So many salads and there's no Widowmines. It's just one single tank for Byun. I don't feel like Byun can push forward Oh, the Riven falling down as well. So many Zealots. Shockwave EMP is not out there yet. And even though all of these Zealots are finally without shields, they still have 1 armor. Actually 2 armor. And they still pack a punch. The Vikings will bring the fight to the Colossi, but they're not enough. The single Colossus stands tall, towering over the army of both players and raining fire over the Bio army. 2 Archons trying to make it work. It will both fall down, as well as the towering Colossus. Byun is steaming forward. Snipes going over the remaining Zealots, and the army of Astrea is no more. The Colossus will complete to bring some more prowess into the fight, but the probes are falling down one after the other. Still 4 ghosts in the main army of Byun, and these poor little stalkers need only to die to allow the Colossus to retreat and die itself as well. Byun doubles it up and brings us to match point. What a move by Byun. Byun is basically proxying himself right now. I don't know how else to describe this. He's gonna send the Reaper in his own main base and start killing his own SUVs, I feel. This proxy location is just so weird. Like, you have pretty much like a red carpet to the Reaper Cliff, but the Reaper Cliff is just very small on this map, and Astrea has already decided to wall it off. Not completely. There's still a little ways off, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of an opening there. I think he maybe misplaced the pylon a little bit. Oh no, actually on the right side, I think that's also
the right.
Yeah.
On both sides, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, but it looks like no Reaper.
Yeah, no Reaper.
Well, there's one Reaper at home, but it looks like he's not gonna...
Yeah, I told you he was proxying his own base.
Yeah. So, okay, interesting. He is gonna hide this. And I am not quite sure why. Because he's gonna eventually have to lift that up, and I guess he's just trying to hide it for some reason. Okay, so I see. He's going for a Marauder Hellion opening here.
Yeah, he is really committed into this.
Yeah.
He's definitely really committed. You want to commit hard if you have the Rex in the middle of nowhere just to hide it, because you're gonna miss the attack lab once you don't have it anymore. So he's probably gonna commit like a little bit harder than he's supposed to. But again, this is a very good early game push that he can get some serious damage happen, and he's gonna hit much before Blink is ever gonna be finished. Yeah, like we were right. There was a little bit too much space in the Reaper wall, but Byun decided against going too deep with his Reaper. He wants to keep the main forces up and standing for the push.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to save as much units to tag along for the push and make this count. As again, this is a huge investment. He's on one base still, so if this doesn't work, then he's probably gonna end up losing in the long run. But here we go, drop commences, no shield battery to speak of, and Astrea, he is gonna be forced to pull off the probes, and I think we might have ourselves a quick 3-0 victory here, as Byun will win and be our Into the Alpha X Super Series champion.